What up? Marsh Pod. Plenty to get to on today's podcast. We've got commitment period officially ending today as we record this on Sunday the 21st. We'll dive into a little bit of that. We'll dive into some USA basketball and kind of some outlook as the Olympics starts here on the Friday. I'm a huge Olympic fan, so looking forward to that. But I wanted to start with what I believe to be the most unifying moment of humanity of this generation. And we are recording this about 4 hours after the political announcement of current President Joe Biden, and that is not what I'm talking about. This is not a politics podcast, nor will it ever be. We're talking about NCAA football right off the bat, because this is, if you are a man, and it could be a woman if you're into it, but more often than not, if you're a dude between the ages of, I'm going to guess, 15 to 38, this past weekend has been a time warp back to, if you're older, your teenage years. If you're younger, welcome to the early 2000 aughts with the return of college football. I have been having an absolute blast. We've got a South Alabama squad that we're riding with, trying to do some things in the Sun Belt. Jason, you better not be at Michigan State right now. If you started at Michigan State, we're going to have some problems come Wednesday's episode, all right? But no, this is everywhere you go. Reddit, Instagram, those are the two social media platforms, and myself outside of, obviously, here on SimWorld Prep, or SimWorld Hoops, that is. Everywhere you go, the people that you talk to, it's all college football all the time. This is the greatest moment of my young adult life. This just, I almost bet you, if you walked into a store and you came across, again, somebody in that 15 to 38 range, and you said how are you enjoying the game, they would know exactly what you're talking about. Because I think this is going to be the greatest selling sports video game of all time. I think it's fantastic that it is a completely different product from Madden. I am very interested in what the future of Madden looks like, because if this game performs well, I would not be shocked if Madden ports their system over to because of the gameplay. I'm not a Madden player. I haven't played Madden since, I think, 2019 version. And the only reason I played it is because it was a BOGO and there was nothing else that was of value at GameStop when I was there. This is just a different game, obviously, but the playing, the movement, everything is fantastic. And so I wouldn't be shocked if Madden tries to find a way to use the same system, because the system has been fantastic. My only hope right now is that there's no need for College Football 26. I mean, I can tell you right now, I'm not buying the next one. I'm buying this one, and that's the one I'm holding on to, because there's no part of this game that I have been at all bothered by that would warrant me, if they said, hey, we got a new feature coming out, that I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to get that. Sports video games do a terrible job of being annual releases. There's no need for an annual release. But this game screams the 2000 aughts, because they knew they had to go to market with a great video game. They could not go to the market with a video game that was not peak, right? They were competing against an empty market, but a massive market, because they were returning for the first time in 10 years. So whatever they produced needed to be, bar none, incredible. Any missteps along the way, and this product was going to be a disaster. And they knew that, and they've executed on exactly that. That's what we used to have. If you're old enough to be playing video games at that period of time, that's what we had in the 2005 through maybe 2002 through like 2010 range. Was you had NBA Live, you had 2K, you had 2K Football, and you had Madden, and these games were going toe-to-toe, and they had to deliver every single year a valuable product to the market, because if they didn't, they had a direct competitor that would surpass them, and then maybe you get somebody very similar to the Xbox versus PlayStation argument. If 2K, which 2K5 was fantastic, and that's on the heels of a phenomenal Madden 04. and you had to deliver a game every single year that bested not only what you did the year before, but what your competition did at the same exact release window. And so you had this influx of sports video games in that time period, about 2000 through 2010. You had college football, college baseball, you had tennis, which has now made its return. You had NASCAR, you had obviously hockey and soccer, and pick the sport. They had random sports. You had different developers creating different sports video game titles. That's what we have for the first time, and that's very, very rare in today's video game market, where a developer and a creator comes to the market with a sports video game that knocks it out of the park because they have to. That doesn't exist with Madden, because they can rinse and repeat every single year with Madden. 2K has fallen into this same exact trap over the last 7 to 8 years. NBA Live tried to make the return in 19. It didn't work. Sports video games don't need to be annual releases, but because they have been, and because the competition has fallen off, with 2K no longer producing a football game because Madden has an exclusive rights, which I personally think for the game of football is terrible. And then meanwhile, 2K does not have exclusive rights to the NBA PA, but the product for EA, because 2K developed and improved year over year, just fell off the market. And so NBA Live made that brief return in 19. They talked about coming back in 20, and they never did. And I'd be shocked if we get another one. But what college football has delivered to the market has been a valuable, top-notch, we put all our eggs in this basket. They may have held on to some type of features, because that's the problem. Sports video games, when you're an annual release, you say, look, we can't give you, when we have no competition, we can't give you everything. So there are, and they're never going to admit to it, but there have to be some type of features that you leave off the video game so that you can bring it in the following year, 2, 3 years, and say, look at this great new feature. In some cases, they actually remove features just to bring them back 6 years later and say, check it out, new feature. No, you just cut it from the original one. That hasn't happened with this video game. It's phenomenal. We've been talking about a video game for 7 minutes now. Phenomenal video game. I hope anyone that's got it is enjoying it. If you have been playing it, which you have been. Let's just cut the BS. You've been playing it. Let us know. What are you playing? Who are you playing with? What's your record? How are you faring? It's been a blast. Let's head to SimWorld Prep. Gabe Pope, Victoris Ilgauskas have finally committed. That comes on the heels of some offers being rescinded. I'm not here to spell out again my opinions of that. I like the landing spots. Victoris Ilgauskas with Duke is fantastic. You keep that partnership, and we've seen what the partnership looks like between Ilgauskas and Cooper Flagg. You add in Adelson Sampaio, and that's suddenly a really, really spicy group next season. And keep in mind, SimWorld U 2 seasons. Andrei Ivanov on his way. This is going to be big name, big man central in Duke, but I love the fit for him. And then Gabe Pope headed out to USC. It's a good fit. He's a talented defender. JMO, the two Puerto Ricans, will be out there. There's no fault from either of them, in my opinion. And then you did see Gabe Pope was trying to team up with Big Vic, ultimately not able to make that fly. But look, I like the landing spots. I don't think we need to dive into that too much more. All right, the Olympics are coming up this Friday. That means that Team USA is finalizing their little shindigaroos around the globe. They were in Saudi Arabia. They were just now, I think, in London for their final showcase, where they played against South Sudan over the weekend. Nearly lost that game. Here's my thoughts. Derek White, one, should not be on the USA Olympic team. I think that it's foolish that Jaylen Brown is not, and I'm not saying that Jaylen Brown's the surefire next pick. He probably is. He's the SWBA Finals MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He's probably the right pick. I'm not going to sit here and do a list of names that I think would go ahead of him, but it always baffles me when conspiracy theories exist, right? Your choice of what you want to choose to be true and what you choose not to be true. But there's no way that every single conspiracy theory is wrong. Just averages out, and there's going to be some conspiracy theories that are right. The conspiracy theories, and it might not even be one anymore, that Nike is secretly behind a lot of these picks. If you're Nike, you can't not have Jaylen Brown go because of his factor that he's sponsored by Adidas and his previous comments about the company, because it looks stupid as hell. And it's obvious, whether Nike chooses to admit it or not, It screams, obviously, that Nike was involved in this decision-making process. They couldn't leave off Anthony Edwards, who's an Adidas athlete. They couldn't leave off Stephen Curry, who's an Under Armour athlete. They couldn't leave off Jason Tatum, though they wouldn't, because Jordan brand, which is still technically Nike brand. But they left off Jaylen Brown for Derek White. And Derek White's a good basketball player, but he's not a great basketball player. And he was in the closing five against South Sudan. He's good. He plays his role fine. Truthfully, they probably need more Derek White and not this team of all NBA dudes. But that's kind of the situation that they're in because they've built the entire roster for it. I am a big proponent of having, let's say, 7 to 8 elite dudes. And then you should round it out with guys that are typically used to being the 4th, 5th, or 6th option on a team. Probably not 6th, 4th or 5th option at the very least on like stack teams, because you need that level of guy that's going to be on the roster. I'm just here to be an Olympian. I'm trying to ball out when I get the chance to, but I'm not stepping on the floor trying to take over. And that's the one thing that probably Jaylen Brown might have tried to do. But he still would have been the better pick and the right pick. Against South Sudan, though, this team just really struggled. I think there are huge stakes on the line. USA Basketball has made no bones about the fact that this is a gold or nothing type of year. They've had some tough ones. Australia was close. Obviously, South Sudan was close. If this team does not win the gold medal, there will be some type of interestingness. And for the storyline, I'm not rooting against my own country, but I'm very fascinated to see if that were to happen. Also, a big question mark is what happens with Kevin Durant. He still has not played yet. He's still dealing with a calf injury with Steve Kerr as his head coach, which is some deja vu back to 2019. If you are a Warriors fan, I'm curious what's going to happen because he's traveled with the team. It doesn't appear that they have an obvious replacement for him. Maybe they don't need one for him because he's supposed to be back. But if Kawhi Leonard got cut for his knee injury, this is looking kind of weird. Kawhi Leonard, New Balance athlete. Kind of weird that Kevin Durant has not gotten bumped and he's yet to play in any of these games. Tell me what the difference is. Tell me what the difference between Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant is. Because Kawhi Leonard was actually out there doing stuff. Kevin Durant has not been. So it's a very interesting two-sided coin that the USA Basketball is flipping right now. And it continues to come up a little murky with Kawhi Leonard being a New Balance athlete and essentially getting cut, right? Kawhi Leonard expressed his disapproval about being cut. The Clippers came out and said they weren't too happy that he was no longer going to be there. So this wasn't a Kawhi and Clippers coordination to say, hey, let's get ready for the regular season, have the summer off. This was a USA Basketball decision. And we talked about it before when it first came out. But I'm kind of wondering where the line's going to be for Kevin Durant. And we might be turning to Langston Galloway for the final roster spot of Team USA if Kevin Durant can't get healthy. Doubt that'll happen, but who knows. All right, we'll catch you by the time you're listening to this tomorrow morning on SimWorld Today. Again, put it down below what you got. Who are you playing with in CFB 2025? Have you won a national championship yet? How long did it take you to get there if you didn't start at a Power 5 school? Also, final side note, I was very not up to speed with the new 12-team playoff, which is the top 5 seeds, top 5 highest-ranked conference champions get into the 12-team playoff. It's stupid. I don't like this at all. I've just realized, not just here, but while playing the video game, realized that I hated it because that means you're going to get a team from the American guaranteed in. They're probably not going to get a first-round bye because the top 4 teams do, but with the Pac-12 dissolving and the ACC, SEC, Big Ten, and Big 12 becoming the conferences of note, we're going to get the conference winner from the American in. Is that a bad thing? Maybe not terribly. There's still good teams in the American, but that does not mean there's going to be a great team from the American. So very interesting to see how that ends up playing out, but that's just a tangent that I'm now remembering. So back to the point. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning.